Yo, what's going on, guys? I was not knowing what's going on because it shows that like I'm streaming, but I didn't see any video output on my actual output. So sorry about that. It took a little bit longer than I wanted to. Um, things should be fine now. I can see output, so I think that means we're okay. Um, yeah, it is Wednesday. It's that time of the day where we do what about feedback streams? Lovely. I love this is the first submission. Nice. Nice, dude. I love that. Yeah, I'm back from Canada, so I'm chilling now. In my main setup, that means we can use our notes now. Sick. I kind of missed using these because I have a lot of thoughts that I have listening to a song, and then I just like kind of forget because I'm silly like that. Um, yeah, let's get this going. There's a bit of Kaisel. Nice. I need to turn it up, don't I? Is this in the end by Linkin Park? Okay. Um, yeah. I mean, that's a song. The thing about remixes in this is the original song is really dependent on the vocals because without the vocals, it's pretty nah guitar writing. It's just and it's just that for like the most of the song. and it doesn't really progress that much. So it's all dependent on like the actual vocalist to do the heavy lifting. When you remove that element, you're kind of left with just a generic meh progression. And it's really apparent, like in this guitar part and this chord structure here, because nothing's really happening. You're not anything new. You need to add some kind of element to replace those vocals and have it be like the center of attention. I think you'll be fine to just keep the vocals in if you have access to those vocals. Even if this is like you're trying to make it like an original song, it's not gonna really do you any good anyways. Um, because people are gonna recognize that it's gonna be the in the end song. So people already know that, then just use the vocals. It's gonna be more popular just doing that anyways. So just add back in the vocals or something uh that is more interesting than this. Other thing is, don't need a fade in here. Like it's just not needed. You said 144. No, my sense is too dry. At least you know. Um, hmm. What up? What up? Stream glitching. My internet suck. Oh, my stream just did the same thing. Nice. Oh, now it's back. Yeah, it's been doing that. When I was first starting, I was like, why is it not working? It should be fine now. Like, it doesn't say I dropped any frames or anything. I feel like it's just OBS or Twitch like not doing good or something. I don't really understand what's going on with it. But if it starts acting up again, let me know so I can fix it, or I can just like stream another day maybe. Um, hopefully you caught all that I said. I hope. I think you're going too minimal with the song just in general. This trap part you have here just sounds so outdated. This is like festival trap era kind of shit. And this just sounds unfinished. Like it sounds like it's just like stems. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of this. It's just too empty. Not enough going on. You have two sections that don't have any other elements in it. But I've heard your other stuff, so I know that you can make it nice. It's just this one is superbly boring. All right, well that's all I have really to say about this. I'm gonna move on. We got zeroed next. Actually, no, we don't. Shafra. We're gonna do Shafra next. Shafra, you just sent your SoundCloud. Oh, that track's been removed. Nice. Yeah, you just sent your SoundCloud. Oh gosh, what's going on with my mic? Does it sound shit? It's like fading. Oh, I probably just need to get my microphone closer. My dumb fucking face. You sent two forms, and the second one you sent is just a link to your SoundCloud. So, well, Zero just deleted their song. Very cool. I can just there. Is this it? Right. Said 30 minutes ago, so I think that's.
In a world so cold where the shadows creep, struggles weigh heavy and the nights run deep. Broken dreams scattered on a concrete floor. But I lift my eyes 'cause I know there's more. Hold on tight through the storm and the fight. God's my anchor in the darkest of nights. Hope rises up like a fire in my soul in this hard world. He makes me whole. Hold on tight.
Gotcha, zeroed.
Streets are cracked and the skies turn gray. Temptations pull, try to lead me astray. But his light shines through, cuts the pain like a sword. With faith as my shield, I'm restored by the Lord. Hold on tight through the storm and the fight. God's my anchor in the darkest of nights. Hope rises up like a fire in my soul in this hard world. He makes me whole.
Ooh, I like that fill.
Hold on tight.
I should like start enforcing people to put their downloads on so I can like see the waveform,
You scattered
analyze it a little bit more. But I can tell right off the bat, like this is way too loud. It's clipping so much. Even in just the intro, you can hear the intro. Listen to the 808 and the vocal, and anytime the 808 plays, it pushes the vocal up and makes the vocal distort. So just listen for that.
the shadows creep.
Not here,
Struggles weigh heavy.
right here.
Nights run deep.
You can hear the 808 pushing the vocal and then making it modulate with the 808. So you don't want that to happen. This is like an intro. And it doesn't sound like a cool effect. It sounds like a mistake. It would be interesting if you did like some ring mod or something, and that way like it fluttered consistently with the 808 playing or something. It's like a Skrillex technique.
Broken dreams scattered on a concrete floor. But I lift
It's really apparent that it's blown out here too, because it's kind of a mistake when you mix everything too loud. It's like your sounds become really sensitive I don't know what you would call it. I would need to like look up the term for it. But when you mix really, really loud and master super loud, even adjusting something by like a decibel or half a decibel can be noticeable. And that's because like when you take away volume from one instrument, some other instrument is gonna fill it no matter what. Like you kind of think of it, if you're ducking one sound by 1 decibel, you're simultaneously ducking that sound 1 decibel and boosting another sound a decibel. So it's just like it doesn't matter what you think the dynamics are, it's just going to be replaced by another instrument that's just as loud. And that's what this make is. It's just way too loud and it's hard for you to gain stage properly because all these sounds are fighting for attention and constantly distorting each other and pushing each other out. If you were to put a limiter on this with like a bit higher of attack and release, it would sound like the audio levels are constantly jumping up and down. And that's kind of a pretty easy way to identify this issue. The solution to this is, well, first of all, turn it all down, and then turn them up one by one. So, uh, I feel bad. A lot of my solutions are just turn things down, but this is a bit more nuanced than that. Gain staging, what you do with that is you turn down like basically all your instruments. You keep the kick, snare, whatever. You want those to be at a pretty consistent volume. Like you want your kick snare to be around the same range, so they had the same impact as each other. Turn off the master, just like temporarily. You mainly just want a clipper anyways. Turn off the master, just turn up the kick and snare until it like barely hits the clipper or limiter or whatever you have. Then turn up the basses up to where it sounds good to you. Then turn up the other layers up. So everything should be down. Turn it up until it sounds good to you. So you usually want to start with the more important things. So like I said, the drums are most important. So like kick, snare, whatever. Then the basses. So the basses are like the second most dominant instrument in this song. So turn the basses up a little bit until they sound good. And then you can turn up the synths, whatever synths you have, other drums, like cymbals, whatever. It kind of depends on what you value more important. You would turn up the background effects. The background effects should always be the last thing you turn up. But you can kind of use your own judgment. But that's how you gain stage properly, and get everything at the right level. Because right here, it's so chaotic you can't really tell, and you're basically managing all these things in like super complex ways without even really knowing it. So that's just the easiest way. And then you can kind of focus on like mastering it, you know. Okay, well, a clipper isn't exactly what I need. I can just use a limiter instead. I could use some EQ. I could turn up the lows. I can turn down the mids, you know, whatever you find fit. And then there you can kind of reshape the sound. But try to always be minimal. Only add things that you know for a fact will help your mix. As the saying always goes, less is more. So the less things you add to it, those things should have a profound impact. You shouldn't have to make up with like 100 OTTs at 10% amount or whatever, 10% dry wet. That's the best way to mix things. If a really badly mixed song and it's like it feels like it's impossible to manage, I do that. I did it recently on a song that's gonna release soon, as in like in a few months. It's like an old song. I kind of did gain staging, but I didn't really do it that well. I just kind of wanted to finish it and release it, but it did turn my mix down around like way better. It was a way better mix. The drum sounded way better. Everything sounded way better, but I could have made it a lot better if I had been more careful and spent more time on it. It really is just time though. So do that. That should help a lot with your mix. Okay, that's awesome. I'll do that. Thanks. Yeah. And of course, referencing is always the best thing you can do. If it sounds like it's too loud or your mix doesn't sound good enough to you, listen to other songs. Import their waveforms, look at their waveforms, compare their waveforms to yours. Use analyzer plugins. Like Span is one of the favorite ones I use. I should do a video on Span and how to use it. I should do that. If you guys have recommendations for like tutorials you want me to do, I'll do them. But look at Span, look at oscilloscopes, just kind of analyze them, compare, and then subtract. Like maybe a song has less high end than the one you have here. Well, that would kind of clue you in that your high end is a bit of a problem. Then you could manage it better. But everything else is pretty solid. It's like a pretty well written song. I don't think I've really commented on your songwriting abilities much at all. It's just been like silly mixing mistakes.
There's more than this hard work.
And of course, creativity is always a thing you can improve upon. Even I have to improve upon that. It's just kind of a thing you have to deal with. Yeah, I would have loved mixing gain staging tutorial. Also the best pick. Dude, you could just send me this project file and I'll do a tutorial on that project file. Because I mean, it's kind of hard to do a tutorial in like fixing something if I don't have the problem. Like a lot of my songs I think are pretty well mixed. There's not any obvious mixing mistakes. There's probably some that you could do, but I don't really have those problems. And if someone sent me a project file, it'd be so much easier to explain like things to do, what not to do. I even did like project fixing. I have a forum still. If you submit on the forum, yeah, you're an Eidolon member. So if you submit on the forum, there's a project fixing forum. You can just send it there, and I can do a tutorial on it and how to gain stage. Also, I think it's called gain staging. I might be mixing up with a different term, but whatever. I'll correct myself in the future. There are things too. The snare is just not good. I don't think the snare is good. You have Ableton. I mean, you could just bounce stems. Yeah, that could be fine. Or you could just send the project to either one. I have Ableton, so I think I'll be good on that. But you should bounce stems anyway because you might have a plugin that I don't. So bounce stems and send the project file. The low end is like really weird. It sounds like it's a dedicated sub, but not at the same time. It sounds like it has some modulation going along with the sub or the bass tones, but it's not. It's like dispersed or something. It just sounds kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with that. The basses themselves, like the tonality of them, feels like they're distorted. It sounds like you put them all in a bus and distorted them too much, because it's very mid heavy. It sounds like those old Barely Alive songs. It sounds like their mids are just way too crunched. And the kick is also really noisy. Like the high end of the kick is just kind of like way too long. The transient of the kick is too long. So I don't know what the issue is that is. I was kind of thinking it was noisy, but then there was some parts where it didn't sound noisy, so whatever. But yeah, that's all I have to say for this song. Thank you for submitting, Shafra. Always an epic time to give feedback on your songs. Who do we do next? Slow. Should we do Muslow? Let's see if there's any other paid patrons. Okay, we'll do Muslow for now. I didn't see the other submissions, but they submitted first. Alrighty. You want feedback on mixing and mastering? Okay. Mixing issues from last time. Sub too loud. Snare too harsh. So you fix the sub being too loud and the snare being too harsh. Okay. Let's check and see if you done it.
When your face that
Ooh.
when your face that
Damn, bro.
face that
Yeah, it sounds a lot better than last time, I think. Listen or compare to know for sure. But the master sounds good. Um, the sub sounds good. It sounds nice and rich. The only thing, or the only two things that I think could be changed to make it absolutely peak and perfect, as far as what you can do right now, is to make the snare less splashy. It's still really splashy to me, and it's a lot just like high end. So wave of high end is hitting my ears, and it doesn't sound that nice. You should fade out the snare maybe, so like the tail cuts out faster, or the tail isn't as loud. The other alternative solution is to use a transient shaper. A lot of transient shapers have the Killer Arts one has one called release. So there's a release knob you can use, and you can turn that down, and it makes the tail less loud and just kind of fades out quicker. There's other ones that just have like a release knob or some kind of tail knob. Just try using that to turn it down. If you have a layer on there that's causing that, you could turn that down. But still, just the overall snare is too splashy still. And that is like the main problem I have with this. The other problem I have is that the bass tones, the like laser gun sounds you have, they could just be louder, like just a little bit louder. I would recommend 1 or 2 decibels louder. Just push them a little bit more into the limiter, or just in the master, whatever, and it would sound good. You could even maybe get away with putting a limiter on like a bus where the those bass tones, like the high end part with a sub, you could probably push those a bit louder in like a limiter or saturator and kind of get that perceived loudness going. Uh, and that could just work just as well. But yeah, the mix sounds really clean. I'm a huge fan of clean mixes like this. So you killed it. It's just the snare and the bass tones being a little bit louder, and that would be it. The master sounds great. Um, very fire. I agree with Canna. What's good, Pex? Can you direct me to the submission form you're talking about? Oh, yeah. Give me 1 second. called like project fixing. I can probably just look at it on my Google form, whatever. Google form thing. Nice. Well, I'm not gonna put it in the chat, but if you can, I can probably just message you on Patreon instead. Yeah. Here it is. I sent to you on Patreon in the direct messages. Cool. All right. Moving on. Thank you, Muslo, for submitting that. Good shit. Who else do we have that is an Eidolon member? What else? Okay, cool. We can just move on to regular submissions. Got triplex. Pretty much everything's set to mastering that we pick on. Cool. Oh gosh, I say it. Tripex. Oops.
If I go too crazy, would you come and save me? I don't know how long I can go, taking it slow. If I go too crazy, would you come and save me? I don't know how long I can go, taking it slow. If I go
Seems
too
there's a phonograph
crazy.
record for nearly every kind of activity. How about music to weed the garden by, or music to read the newspaper by? Well, here's one. Music to plan your future by. Just listen.
I don't need your
Wow. Oh my gosh.
If I go too crazy, would you come and save me? I don't know how long I can go, taking it slow. If I go too crazy, would you come and save me? I don't know how long I can go, taking it slow. If I go too crazy, 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 would you?
I am in no mood to repeat myself.
Okay, nice. Uh, man, that was so just like loud and intense. My ears need a recovery for that. It's just too loud. You have a good like structure here. It's just like the basses, like the actual bass parts, the tone, not even the sub, are just too loud. It's like the last probably two submissions ago where someone just had a really loud bass tone. It's like your sub isn't there to be a sub. It's like it's just like high end and mids taking all that space. Your kick is having the hardest time ever trying to play. It's like fighting for attention really hard. I can barely hear it, but it's there. I can kind of hear it. Uh, it's just not good. It doesn't cut through the mix. It doesn't sound thumpy. It just sounds really underwhelming. Um, this could be a problem for a few other things. Um, it could be that your master is just simply too loud. It could be that your bass tones are pushed too hard into the master. It could be that your dedicated sub is too quiet. There's a lot of possible reasons why this mistake is happening. Other things. I think the intro is good for the most part. It was good here. I think having a solo piano is usually pretty cringe, but I think in this context it's fine. Over here though, this part was dragged on for so long. I would just completely cut out this piano part here. The second verse. Also, you had this radio voice come in. Your radio voice is fine. It builds up this like it makes it feel like I'm in like in the 40s and I'm like watching a 40s drama or something. Where is it? So you have the end of this segment where it's like the verse and she's singing just like some melody, you know, doing a thing. And then you're trying to switch the vibe of the song to be more of like suspense. You're building up tension, and the whole point is that you're building up to the build up and the drop. You want your audience to kind of feel like something's going to happen, like they're anticipating the drop to be there. So you're doing the right choices, but I think your phrasing could be better. So the way you're doing this is you have a vocal here. It kind of hits on the downbeat, and then she says, "If I go too crazy." You're playing that vocal while also playing the radio vocal at the same time. That shouldn't be happening, because people don't like hearing two people talk at the same time. It makes you frustrated and also confused. So instead, you should have the singer sing their part. You know, echo it out, delay it. And after they say their phrase and it starts getting echoed out in low pass or whatever, then you can have the radio voice come in and kind of fill that empty space. Then the vocal can come back in, you know, she's singing, then fill the space back up with the radio voice. So you kind of want it to alternate. So singer vocal, radio voice, singer vocal, radio voice. And that's how the phrasing should be done. It'll make it a lot cleaner, and basically don't want two voices saying things at the same time because it's honestly frustrating.
For nearly every kind of activity. How about music to weed the garden?
And yeah, your song up to here has been pretty good, except for that radio vocal thing. I don't like this effect on the vocal. It could just be a dry vocal, and I'll be fine with it. You're using like a demonizer kind of effect, where they would like pitch it down by a sixth and then an octave. I think it sounds really cringe, honestly. It is a really cringe vocal effect and should be used with much discretion because it can sound cheesy really easily, and it just sounds cheesy. Also, with it being pitched on a sixth, it's going to make it dissonant. Like that's just what it's going to do. So it's just gonna sound wrong right off the bat unless you're using sixth harmonics. A lot of death metal uses like sixth tones, which are almost never in a good key, but they use it in like a kind of more interesting way. Like their whole song is built around that. So just avoid that. At most, maybe have an octave layer below and see how that sounds. But it would be totally fine if it was a dry vocal. You could maybe have her voice be like a radio effect. Like that would work too. Why not? In this drop, it just hits like a fucking truck. Like that, it just jump scared me. You remember my reaction as soon as it played. It goes from
Don't need
quiet ass motherfucker singing.
your
And it's like I get hit by a fucking train, a big ass freight train, and like they're blowing their horn as they're hitting me, so my skull's getting crushed and my ears are blown at the same time. And I mean, it is good to have like the build up and pre-drop be quieter than the drop, but this contrast is too much. If you're gonna be this loud and kind of insane with it, you need to build it up so it's not so jarring. I usually tell people the best way to do that is just have the bass, like the main bass, play in the build up so that like you kind of know what to expect or how loud it should be. That could be one way. That's not necessarily needed, but I'm just telling you that this contrast needs to be transitioned better because it's just too loud. It sounds like your drums sound good, but they're just crushed too much. Yeah, you can barely hear your fucking kick, man. Your kick is quiet as fuck. It's mainly the melodic bass that I think is too loud, like the bom 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 bom. Like that's the loud part. Investigate that and just make it not so fucking loud. Yeah, cut this part out. That sounds fine.
To myself.
Also, I feel like a fake out would work really well here. Like I was thinking, man, you're going for like a switch up of like she's singing
Diamond.
and then you switch it up and there's a radio vocal talking about the end of the world or something. Like that's cool. I like that effect that you did. But a fake out would do you so much good. Oh, iLok, upcoming iLok maintenance. Yay! I love iLok. Anyways,
Mood to repeat myself.
like imagine you didn't put the drums immediately after the build up. Imagine it was just like the bass playing and it had that radio effect over it and you open it up slowly and then after 4 bars, then the drums come in. Then you have all the high end and cymbals play. Just have a fake out here. That would work so well. Do that. That's about it for the feedback I have on this song. It's just like such a loud song. That's like the biggest critique of this. Any recommendation to make the kicks louder or more present? The recommendation I have is turn everything else down. Your entire song is clipping and just really harsh. If you turn those down, your kick should just naturally come out more. Other thing might be like side chaining is the other thing that you could probably fix. You could look at an oscilloscope, look at how long your kick is, like the decay time, and like the sidechain you have. You want to make your sidechain last about as long as your kick does. So that way there's no bow tying on the low end. And it's just so that it maximizes the amount of space the kick uses. You should look at bow tying. If you're a member on Patreon, I talk about side chaining pretty in depth. I talk about bow tying and why it's bad. So you definitely look that up. Other than that, it's just the loudness of the drop that upsets me the most. It's unneedlessly loud. That is about it for this song. Yeah, ring mod sidechain. I think ring mod sidechain is a little too overhyped. I saw a like a TikTok of this guy talking about what was it, the Kill Hearts thing? Compactor? I think their name was like Spaces or something. You guys probably have heard of him. He was on TikTok and he's like freaking out. Oh, nice. This one's been removed. Dude, you gotta send it. You gotta click the share link thing. There's like a share button on the bottom here. You need to click that and then send me it because it's not gonna send me it if it's private. I'll wait for you to send that. But it was Spaces or something that, yeah, Compactor. It was Spaces that made a video on that, and he was like freaking out, saying that it was like the best sidechain tool ever, and that he's like gonna replace all his stuff with it. And don't get me wrong, Compactor is definitely a really good plugin. Like, it's a Ringmod sidechain. That stuff is really cool. I love Ringmod sidechain plugins. They make everything so much easier and kind of solve the problem with phase issues and bow tying a lot. Like, it's good, but it's not going to replace audio sidechain because audio sidechain is just way simpler to just make. And for Ringmod, what it is like you're filling the gaps of like a drum. Like, you have a really low oscillating sine wave or something, and you have a really high end frequency also playing at the same time. If you sidechain and do Ringmod sidechain, like, it's gonna fill in the gaps where it crosses the DC line, the zero crossing line, and that sounds good. But you're still hearing the other sound. Like, inevitably, people are gonna hear the kick and want to hear it completely silenced. Like, it just sounds good when the kick is soloed for like a split second. So audio sidechain. Sorry, what am I saying? Ringmod sidechain won't replace audio sidechain. Audio sidechain will always sound good on transients and like really minimal songs. Ringmod sidechain, I think, is just another tool you can put on top of that. What is up, a long goat? Use a stock compressor for sidechain. Yeah, that's really yikes. Stock compressor? Jeez, man. What are we living in? 2011? I don't think people have been using stock compressors for sidechains since like 2010 or 2011. Like, ever since the Kickstart plugin came out, like that ducking thing, it just kind of changed everything for everybody. I used it. I used like a nerd till like 2016 until I realized how dumb I look when I show my prog file and I see like they see my little compressor getting triggered by a kick, and they're like, "Ew, get this freak out of here." But you should always use like a proper sidechaining plugin. Like, it's the standard now. Everybody does it. Those sidechaining plugins are really cheap anyways, and simple volume automation is just as good. But yeah. Alrighty. Okay, Zeroed. You're on the chopping block now. How do you feel? I'm gonna absolutely fucking demolish your song.
Members only volume 2. You better know that good shit.
Yes, Shiverbox is the best plugin. You should absolutely get it. I bought the entire thing, so I have all the plugins in it. You need to absolutely get that. It's so worth the money. They have like noise shapers and reverb and like everything you ever could need. It's so good. You should get it. What's up, RIs? Okay, sorry. Let's go back to this. Holy fuck.
You fucking like a bitch.
Yo, what's up, Basty? Nice. Just really fucking loud.
Members only volume 2.
So what is this? Is this XXX Tentacion or Scarlord or something? It sounds like Scarlord as like the just the loudness that it is, and then XXX Tentacion with the vocals.
Shit. Very.
Uh I think the transition here is just weak. You had that really high pitched thing that I kind of hated when I first heard it, but it doesn't actually sound that bad coming back to it. It just needs like just a break on my ears. Like everything's way too loud. You can have a break. You can add some dynamics back in like places where it doesn't need to be loud. I say it like a million times, but when you have a intro or a build-up that is too loud or louder than the drop or as loud as the drop, really any of those, it takes away the impact of the drop. So you have this bass playing. It's a cool 808 bass thing you have. But then compared to like the drop that you have here, it makes the drop seem underwhelming and like it's not as important or impactful. And it's a good bass, it's just not coming out. I'd add some dynamics in the intro here. We could probably turn this down a little bit and just leave room, or just high pass it. You could high pass it to some amount. You could even make it more mono. So like in this section here, you can make it mono, and then it could open up because your drop here is really wide, but it's just adding some contrast. The 808 here, probably, yeah. You could probably just turn that down and that would work. Or just making this part more mono. Not just complete mono, but just more mono than the drop. I think your snare here is just kind of your snare choice. Your snare, you like boosted the mids. The mids are super overblown, and this is what I call the doof snare, the doofy snare, because it sounds like it's going doo, doo, like Homer Simpson going ooh, doo. That's what that snare sounds like to me. It's because the mids get distorted so much, the fundamental gets distorted, and just has like it has all the overtones, and it just makes it sound horrible. Lay off distorting the mids, and it would sound better, or just choose a different snare. Probably happens when you have a really low, kind of a low fundamental snare, but the decay on the fundamental is also really long, so you get that kind of combination of just doo. Like, I actually like this part better with the snare choice, because the snare at least sounds louder. You have room on the snare that makes it sound really big and wide. I think sounds good for the most part. My minor notes are just it sounds a bit repetitive, and the creativity isn't that much, but it is just like using like extentation and the rap lyrics. Our vocals are supposed to do a lot of the carrying in this, so it's fine as a song. It's just minor stuff. But those are mainly my notes I have for you. Good shit. Thank you for submitting. The submissions just keep coming in. All right, next up we have Etudes. Etudes. Oh, Nurko. We have a Nurko. Interesting. Okay. Let's hear it.
Time was never really on our side. We never got a chance to try, and now we have to say goodbye. Strange how everything gets in the way. They tell you love is all it takes, but do you think it's true tonight? 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Tell me something's here to save, that we can find it at the start, like starlight in the dark. Even if it's not right now, we'll find our way back somehow. When all of my steps start to fade, our love can be
This is sick.
the only one I ever knew, who made a crazy dream come true, that I won't ever leave behind. Stay, tell me nothing's gonna change, that love is really all it takes, and we're never giving up the fight. 'Cause I don't wanna walk away. Tell me something's here to save, that we can find it at the start, like starlight in the dark. Even if it's not right now, we'll find our way back
Uh, yeah, that's good. I don't have many notes for the things you wanted. You wanted feedback on mixing, mastering, and song structure. So it's all stuff that uh I think are good. And I think the remix probably helped with some of the structuring and ideas. The snare sounds good. Kick sounds good. My analysis is the master is by far the biggest problem, but it's not a big problem. It is the biggest among everything you have. The master, it seems like it's being pushed a lot in like the high end. Like your high end is kind of too much. Um, it's a very bright mix. I think bright mixes are pretty good, but the highs on the fluttering vocal, I believe it's the fluttering vocal. No, it's like a bass you have or something. Like a chord. Those highs are just too loud and should be turned down a little bit. It's like just in a too harsh range. It also feels like your master is overcompensating. You have a master and it sounds like it has like OTT on it because everything is pushed up really high, and it sounds like it's some form of upwards compression. Yeah, for mixing, mastering, and song structure, I think this is pretty good. Uh, you got a lot of the things just right. Not much to even say, really. Really nitpicky things, and that's about it. If OCD on the master, I play around with the master a little bit, see what you can get away with removing plugins, and then see how it sounds. Because you have some room here. You have a lot of room to make it sound more beefy. You could turn the low end maybe. Just play with it a little bit. The thing that you could definitely turn down is the high end. Like you have a lot of room. You could replace the high end with something else, like the low end, like I recommended. But mostly, it's a good mix. I mean, I can't lie. Good shit. I don't have any notes for you on the note board. I haven't had that happen in a long time. But just know if you want feedback on other things, I would have a few, maybe two, maybe even three. Yeah, but thank you, E2s, for submitting. Good shit. Now we're on to Basty. Basties have given me a really hard time. All right, Basty. Oh yeah, and good luck on your remix comp. Hope you win. Hope the judges see what I see. Basty. Oh, you have a compactor thing. Oh boy, how'd you get it red? You can change the color of the buttons and stuff. Compactor. Everybody's freaking out about that plugin. I I use a ISP usually. It's the Nasco skin. Oh, you can do skins. I kind of forgot that. I never chose a skin. Oh, Max is pretty good. I have to look at the settings. I'm interested now.
You can never escape that.
What the fuck? With a sword layer? What does that even mean?
It is quite alright to dream.
You can never escape that.
Nice. Damn, that was good as fuck. When will I get the submission that is shit? Please, someone. It's something bad. Okay, the master is the only thing you wanted feedback on. For my analysis, my professional perfect analysis, the highs are too dominant. and the mids and the low mids and the lows are just really weak. And you could make it way more saucy if you just boosted the sub. Use references, of course. Look at songs that have a sub this low and see what they put their sub at. Span is the one I use for lows in particular. Just see how loud they are on those songs and then try to match it in loudness. Make sure your references are like really good mixing references. Mefuse, Cohen Sound, you know, you know some people who make good mixed, well mixed songs, so and honestly, you could probably push the master a little bit more. Look at the LFUS meter, and the range I usually stick to is -6 to -3. Sometimes I'll get to -2, but that's if it's a really fucking loud song, like all the layers are really washy and kind of bright. For a song like this, I feel like -4 would be a good spot, but use your own brain to figure that out if it's good or not. It's already reaching -1. Yeah, well, it's because you have the sub really quiet. That's why. Your sub is too quiet. So if you turn up the sub, it's gonna lower the value just on its own. So it's gonna say -1 if you just boost up the highs. If you get an EQ and boost the highs, then yeah, it'll get a fucking louder sound. It's pretty simple. LFUS is just supposed to measure like perceived loudness and like how the human ear hears it, and since low end isn't perceived as well as high end, it doesn't really make it sound louder if you boost a sub. So try that and stick around -4. I would recommend. But yeah, it's well mixed, really well mixed. -1 plus this well mixed, insane. Thank you, Basty, for submitting. Good shit, as always. We have our last submission of the day, which is Our Eyes. Funny enough, they were the last submission of last stream too, or the last stream I did on this setup. So, Javern and followed by JY08. Sorry for the drop in energy. All right. Our Eyes. Martian like BC.
Baby, I can see what's in all you say. Why don't you stay? I never felt so far from you.
Got it.
Just been nice.
Ooh.
Baby, you could just been nice.
This is sick. I love granular shit like this. Oops, pain. I didn't mean pain, I meant pan. Okay, the second part. I love these sounds. These sounds that you have on here, I really like. You got the the really grainy pad sound, and then this, I don't even call this, like kind of like a pad chord thing. Saws.
Never felt so far from you.
This section, I don't think you need the snare there. You could cut the snare here.
So far from you. And I
You could cut out the shakers here. I think when you have a downbeat and everything kind of plays on the snare, you should do the same with the shakers because it adds more tension, and it feels a little awkward when you have the full shakers going with no rhythm for it to sit behind. The other thing is the sidechain on the kick is too long. Either shorten the kick or make the sidechain shorter. They should balance out though. It's just too long of a sidechain. The snare, I like the snare mixing. It's nice and poppy and clicky, but I think it could sound good with a tail, just a reverb tail or something, or maybe like a reverb effects, reverse effects. I mean. And then these shakers, I think, would sound so much better if you pan them left and right. There's a thing you can do in Shaperbox where you can change the pan to alternate left and right at like 16th notes. So it just sounds like it's spinning around you or something. Some kind of stereo effects, but panning would be the best.
baby,
Yeah, this is the last submission of the stream. If you want to submit one, submit it for next week, same time, Wednesday 5 p.m. EST. LFO Tool should have the same kind of thing. Even like a tremolo, there's so many like panning plugins out there. You just need to look for it. This gave me big Skrillex vibes. That's why I put Ref Skrillex, because the way they kind of decorate these sections, like the saw chords area, it's really interesting. Just listen to how they fill those spaces out and make it interesting and unique. As far as anything else, sounds good. You could probably push it to master a little bit, but yeah, good shit. That's about all I have for today, guys. For those who are my Eidolon members, I do have a tutorial coming up. I'm mainly gonna try and do tutorials now, with some production streams sprinkled here and there. But if you have recommendations for tutorials, go ahead and send them my way, because I need some help figuring out what you guys need help with. So just tell me and I'll do them. I think this tutorial is gonna be on like mastering and how to do proper stuff. Probably touch on gain staging, but how to do stems kind of, and some tips and tricks. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see ya.